I am what you call a Christian mystic. Christian because I believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Mystic because I practice the spiritual ancient religion of Kabbalah that dates back to prehistoric Israelites and the power that they held, utilizing the stars as your guide, astrology being a map for us to follow. I am also sometimes called a Jezebel because I embody the masculine and feminine identity that we are all born with no shame. I try to educate and provide insight, sharing with you my spiritual walk, incorporating astrology and the wisdom that's there for us to grab, not to be worshipped, but to use as a tool that God intended it to be used for. I also embody the reality of being a mom, a working mom, and how I balance both my spiritual walk as a priestess and my walk as a wife that cares about her husband and a mother that cares about her children, and also divine feminine identity and all that it consists of. I share with you my wisdom, advice, stories of things I have endured and overcame as a dark empath. I educate you on what a dark empath is and the difference, and how we are not to be ashamed of the shadow period that we had to live in to survive. I help people get through it and heal that self, but also don't put any shame in the fact that there is great power in darkness. I help you harness that and be aware of the power that you have, that God has given. I help you reach where God has intended for you to go. So if any of this sounds enticing, sounds exciting, sounds interesting, then please give me a follow and a like. And most likely, you'll have to ignore the haters that come my way, especially the Christians, because I can quote scripture left and right as I grew up in the church, grew up in several different denominations. So I also like to educate people on what the Bible actually says, how the Pope in the Catholic Church has altered so much of it that pastors still have yet to be aware of sometimes as they preach stories that were never originally there, like Jesus writing in the sand for those to cast the first stone if they have no sin. That was made up. Or how the Pope twisted the story of who Mary Magdalene was, and then later apologized in 1969. I help educate you on true Christianity that shouldn't be labeled as such, but rather mysticism, and the power that we can hold in ourselves to do and accomplish amazing things. So I hope we become friends.